Shabbat Shalom. In this week's Torah portion, we meet our patriarch Jacob as he prepares to meet his estranged brother. He sends his messengers ahead to placate his brother with gifts to ensure his safety. Jacob's life is one of symmetry, epitomized in this portion in many ways. The gifts that he sends to his brother Esau, he will later say, represent his brachot, the many blessings that have impacted his life, but that also harkens back to the blessing that he stole from his brother. But I would like to focus on the most famous aspect of symmetry, that of his names. Jacob, or Yaakov in Hebrew, means the heel grabber, because he emerged from the womb grasping his older brother's heel. His name from birth foreshadows the physical struggle that he has in this portion, that ultimately leads to his name being changed to Israel, or Yisrael. And it's this name that his people will be known by for the rest of the Bible and history, and as Jews we are known as Bnei Israel, the children of Israel. Just prior to his fraught reunion with his brother Esau, Jacob is met by a man, and is seemingly attacked by this man, and why we do not know. The man, or Ish, is the way that the text describes this mysterious being. And as readers, we know that the man is a messenger of God, but that is unknown to Jacob at the outset of their wrestling match. They wrestle until nearly dawn, when this man must retreat from this world. As Bible scholar Robert Alter points out, wrestling is what defines Jacob's life. The struggle with his brother in the womb, the emotional wrestling with his brother and father over and for the birthright and blessing, and later with his father-in-law Lavan over many issues over many years. And now this struggle, which is not only physical but also spiritual, has literally come to a wrestling match. The man tells Jacob he must leave, and he tells him that he will no longer be known as Jacob, but as Israel, meaning you have striven with the divine and won. Now Jacob, just like his grandparents, Abraham and Sarah, has his name changed. But unlike his grandparents, whose name was only slightly changed, they were never again referred to their birth names. Whereas Jacob will sometimes be referred to as Jacob, and sometimes Israel. And why is this? The divine being bestows upon him this lofty name, yet just a few verses later, he will again be known as Jacob. But the final verse of the chapter with the wrestling match offers us an important clue and an insight into the meaning of these two names. In the course of that wrestling match, the man wrenches Jacob's hip socket, causing him permanent injury. And then the Torah does something amazing. It says, because of this, the children of Israel no longer eat the sinew of the thigh, i.e. the sciatic nerve, thus making filet mignon unkosher. But what is amazing about this verse is that the Torah is breaking the fourth wall, the illusion that we are walking along with these characters. A teacher of mine called this the spell of simultaneity. And now that spell is being broken, revealing that the text is being told from a much later perspective. And this is compelling from a literary perspective, but it's essential from a religious one, as well as offering us a possible answer to the back and forth of Jacob and Israel and what the hidden meaning of each name is. Jacob is the name of a patriarch who is unquestionably human. He was known up until then, but also moving forward in the story, as much for his greatness as for his many moral failings. Jacob is the name of a person we can see ourselves in. We relish in his gifts, and we identify with his struggle over being his best self, as we all hopefully struggle over being our best selves. But Israel, Yisrael, is an aspiration. It is the potential to reach for the divine level, and it's a responsibility. Jacob's struggles were external, but Israel is the inner wrestling match that, when bested, makes each of us and the world better. And rather than limping away, we make the world more whole. Shabbat Shalom.